rolling.
Action.
Thanks, Brett. Thanks.
We're doing it live.
Appreciate it. All right. Today we have Joel with us. I'm not even going to throw out an episode number because who knows at this point. We're not going to go there. Super excited though to have Joel on. I was honestly looking at your LinkedIn because I feel like you do so many different things here and are just like come to save the day. So many times I have no idea what your actual title is. LinkedIn tells us you are our Administrative Services Manager. Is that the title you like to go by?
Yes, that is.
Okay. Got it. Woo, nailed it. All right. We've got Joel. That's his title. I'm not going to say it again because I'm proud I didn't trip up on it the first time. Excited to have you here though. For folks that don't know you, can you give us a quick intro on who you are, what you do here, and we'll go from there, maybe how you got here.
Sure. So like Caroline said, my name is Joel Parra. I'm the Administrative Services Manager here at Perch. And so kind of some of the things that I work on include the facilities and office management, all the event planning. There's a little bit of like just administrative support with the leadership team. I'm kind of in charge of a whole lot of different pieces of Perch's back end. So I sit on the HR, people team, HR ops team, and how I got here. I got here because I believed in Perch, and when I interviewed with the folks that I met with during my first couple of rounds of interviews, Lauren from the talent acquisitions team, Suzanne, and a few other folks, I was super excited and passionate about learning more about e-commerce. I've been in a lot of different industries. This is my first time in e-commerce, and yeah.
I love it.
There's not enough time to talk about all of the things that you truly own and do here for like at Perch, like you're the Swiss Army knife of everything that makes Perch run. MCing all hands and stand-ups and WBRs of like, our big company meetings and like new employee introductions. Just all right. So I don't want to understate the importance of Joel here, and his voice is heard from everybody here at the company. And we'll get into some other stuff with maybe some shameless plugging of some wedding stuff that we got going on too, because it's amazingly exciting and I love it. So we'll get into that later.
We will.
Maybe sooner.
I feel like one thing that just totally blew my mind was at our last company party or outing at Chris's house, you're just like casually telling people about your day. And, I'm thinking like, clearly I don't do event planning, like thank God for all of us, but you're sitting here like, yeah, the day started at 9 a.m. And I thought that meant like you showed up and then like, I don't know, like things kind of came together and you're like, well, I drove like to this end of the state to pick up these like freshly made cider donuts. And then I drove to this other town to get these cookies. And then your story goes on and on and on about the whole day. And then we all just like magically show up at this like beautifully curated party with pumpkins that have Perch's picture on it. Like, I don't know. And you're just standing there as if it just happened. Like, I don't know. Clearly, I'm still just amazed by this situation. So it's pretty cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it was super exciting to plan and execute that event, and it was great because I used a lot of vendors that are in my contact list that I reached out to, and it seems like everyone had a fantastic time, and people were raving about the food, specifically the fried shrimp. Everyone was like, that fried shrimp was amazing. But yeah, it was a great day, and I have a lot of fun doing all of that, running around. It's like my thing.
All right, fried shrimp. I'm pissed that I missed it because I was in COVID quarantine at the time. So
it's all right. I can attest it was very good. All right, next time, Brett.
All right, bring the fried shrimp next event. I'll be there. All right, cool. All right, so let's dive into some nitty gritty awesomeness and suckiness at the same time. So let's explore more. Let's explore more about Joel and some things that, or maybe a thing that you suck at, right? Tell the world shit, bear all right now.
We
strip it
already know you're
away.
great. So what do you suck at? We need
I know,
something.
like
Come on.
we need the flip side of this coin here.
I think the answer to this was actually something that I said at the party when I was chatting with Caroline. We were just talking, and someone asked me a question similar to this, and I responded with staying calm as being the thing that I suck at. And then Caroline was like, you should come be on our podcast after I said that. And I think it's true. I think one of the things that I suck at is staying calm. I'm always on the go, doing something, running around, that's just my thing. And I wish I could have more inner calmness in me.
Well, you hide it well.
Yeah, seriously. Is it the constant activity that helps you feel more calm?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like it energizes me in a way.
Huh. Interesting. Tell us a little bit more about that. Like, how does that play out either like at work or outside of work too?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just really just constantly being on the go for me is what energizes me in some way. I mean, I've always just been running pretty much from the moment that I started as a freshman in college, probably even high school. I've always just been someone who is constantly doing multiple things, juggling multiple, things going on. Like, I went to school while I was doing an internship and running a wedding planning business. So I started off with that. And then ever since then, it's just been kind of like juggling, working, running a business. I also got my MBA somewhere in the mix of that. Like, so I kind of was doing three things at once on top of all the other like extracurricular things that I do outside of those three items. And it motivates me. I love running around. I mean, at the event on Friday, at the event that we did on in early October, I was like just constantly running around, making sure everything was going right and flowing right. And that's kind of how I've gotten into that wedding planning stuff is because, on a wedding day, I'm always running around. And so staying calm is something that I suck at because I just can't ever like pause for some reason. It just doesn't work for me.
So it's interesting because like you're in the professions that you're in, right, are prone to like a lot of juggling, a lot of different things, like chaos, basically. Like I could speak from experience. Like I've gotten married. My wedding was only 2 years ago, coming up on 2 years. Like I remember that day, right? And like it's the wedding planner's job to like not get flustered and to take care of things behind the scenes and to not stress the bride and groom out, not the bride, but like it's a chaotic environment. And like even for you here at Perch and like the amazing multitude of things that you're doing, right? You've chosen professions that have these inherent chaotic moments. So you know this about yourself. So how do you check yourself in those moments, and how do you stay calm? Is it just putting on the brave face of like calm, cool, collected, and inside it's a tornado going on? Like what's the coping mechanisms that you use?
That right there is exactly it. So I am very good at just like that. The face can stay calm, but on the inside, it's just constantly thinking about all the different things and everything that is going right, all the things that might be going wrong, and just kind of like going with it. And somehow it always ends up working out with all the chaos. It just, yeah.
Did somebody teach you that? Like, where'd you get the just keep a cool face from?
I really don't know. I just, like I said, I've always been running. So it's always just been something that I've been able to do, I guess. And I've had to learn because, kind of going back to the wedding piece, as Brett was just saying how he got married, he, everything was just kind of moving. It's like a controlled chaos, basically. And I've had to learn that I can't stress my clients out ever. So in order to do that, I just need to look like I'm fine. But in reality, there's like a million other things going wrong, and I'm just trying to secretly fix them. So I guess what I refer to myself as, I refer to myself as kind of the secret host of events, because I'm that person who's like behind the scenes, just kind of making sure everything is running smoothly, and it's like chaos that's controlled by me.
Yeah, those are kind of selfless jobs too, right? Because like the focus is the event, like the wedding, or just the event, or like these other things, like whether you're a planner, whether you're coordinating, whether you're emceeing something. It's not this. This isn't you. It's like the event. So you want to highlight that and show that through. But like, there's so much shit going on, and like I would lose my mind. I think my breaking point would be pretty quick in a lot of those things, and I would just get completely flustered. So like you wear it well, you show it, or you don't show it well, which is great.
Ooh. Are there ever any settings where you feel like that turns off? Like any moments where you feel like you're okay not running?
I would say at the end of events, like at the very, very end, when it's all over and I'm in the car on my way home, that is where I'm like, I breathe a sigh of relief. And it's like, that is when I'm zen, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because at that point you're able to look back and like it all worked, but also you probably, to Brett's point, like it's a selfless job. Like you can see everybody having gone through that experience and like just, had such a great time.
Yeah, I'm feeling zen right now with
Ooh.
Perch in the office. So in September, when we were just trying to get everything together and gather all the supplies and kind of just prepare for the reopening, at that point in time, I was definitely just like running and trying to get everything in there. And finally, I think last week we completed our final piece of the office, which was the big Perch logo that we just added recently. And after I saw that sign go up, and after I saw the bird painted in the kitchen, I'm like now in complete zen mode with regards to the office. There's still more work that has to be done, but those were like the last two pieces that really completed the work that we were doing to get the office to where it is now.
Like put the stamp on it. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
All right. I need another example from on the wedding side of like a total chaos moment, the most chaotic moment.
I want to hear a catastrophe.
Yeah, I want to hear a disaster, a disaster in the making and happening, but you swept it under the rug. Or
We can change details and names. We won't call anybody out, but
perfectly fine. That's right. Be vague.
give us some dirt.
I mean, I can give you a couple of examples. There's a lot. I'm trying to think of what my most disastrous moment. Actually, I have a few. I'm thinking about them now. Well, there was one that just happened this past weekend where my bride lost her belt, the belt that was supposed to go on the dress, and it completely changed the look of the dress without it. And we only found that out an hour and a half before I was supposed to send her down the aisle. And so I had to drive 40 minutes away to go buy a belt at a random bridal store. And then I made it back with about 2 minutes before we were supposed to get started. So that was a very chaotic moment. What other chaos? I've had so many chaotic moments. There was this one time where because I'm like controlling the chaos, I tend to hold the rings for like the ceremony part. I tend to hold them, and I don't give them to anyone until the ceremony starts. So I know that they're in my hands, like nobody's going to lose them. We're not, they're not going anywhere. And so we were at a venue in Boston, and there was something else happening while the ceremony, right before the ceremony was about to start. There was something else happening that I had to like take care of. And the ceremony had started without me, and my assistant had like sent them all down the aisle and stuff. And I completely forgot that the rings were in my possession. And so the ceremony had started and they didn't have any wedding rings. And so when the best man was looked at to hand over the rings, he didn't have them. And that was like a moment of chaos for me, because I remembered that I had them. And normally I have a routine, like I always am the one to send the bride down the aisle, but for whatever reason, this time around I couldn't. And I know that part of my routine is like, okay, I'm going to hand the rings over to the best man. This time the routine changed a little bit, and yeah, it was hilarious. Everybody was laughing afterwards, but I had to like run in during the ring exchange piece and like hand them the box.
Sneak in real quietly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
It was not great.
But like even in these chaotic moments, right? And along with putting on like the stone face of confidence, right? I feel like, especially with someone with like your type of personality, right, that is accustomed to juggling a lot of things and a lot of chaotic moments. It's like there's a lot of experience with that of being comfortable with chaos and like calming that tornado and that storm in your head, like even though it could be raging internally, but it's like just putting on that brave face and like acting like it's fine is almost can calm the storm in itself, like a little bit. I mean, I think of that when we have a bunch of stuff going on, a bunch of like balls in flight of just in like from a recruiting standpoint, I'm just like, I know that I've been through these situations before, and I know that like things are going to either work out the way they're supposed to, or like there are things I can control and I can't control, and like they will eventually kind of the plane will land, right? And you have that experience after going through it with the professional, both like at Perch and like your role here, but also like wedding stuff too. So like there's some experience there that you carry with it too, not just the innate ability of like running towards chaos and like thriving in it, but it's like you have the experience to like handle that too.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely. And that's one of the reasons that I'm so happy to be at Perch, is because it's a startup, and startups tend to always be running as well. And there's always something to do. There's always new challenges that we face, and I love that sort of stuff. It motivates me. And then someday we can all enjoy a Zen moment when we see kind of our project, or when we kind of see the fruits of our labor, for lack of a better word.
Love it. We can all have our Zen moment. I'm gonna have to like keep repeating it to myself.
Or
Zen
you
moments coming.
download the Calm app and do some meditation or something.
Some breathing exercises, like when everyone hits the dance floor after the ceremony's done and the reception starts, and you can kind of breathe, or like at an event when like everyone's eating their food and just mingling, it's like, okay, calm down, like we're good, enjoy it now.
A good time.
A good time will always be had by all, especially with Joel, with you running everything. So I'm bummed that I missed the last one, but I can't wait to go to the future ones, and I'll make my way to the office at some point and admire all the work.
Come on, Brett.
I know.
Do it for Joel.
Okay, now I have to. All right, now I have to. Good. You gotta get my badge ready, Joel.
Yeah, you have to come see the plants and the sign and everything.
I'm coming tomorrow.
Ooh.
It's gonna be good. I'm excited to see the birds. I haven't seen them yet. I think like last time I came in was just before they were painted up. So it's gonna be good.
Tweet birds.
Awesome. Thanks, Brett.
No problem. Awesome. Well, hey, Joel, thank you for sharing everything and talking through this. So I'm still amazed. Like wedding planning is a full-time job. Like I feel like it can be. It should be. It is, right? And like you juggle two full-time jobs. That's fucking wild.
So if anybody's having a wedding, call Joel.
Yeah. Shameless plug here. Shameless plug. You got a lot of winter weddings lined up?
No, so I'm done. I'm done until next spring, summer, and fall. But at least the winter is also my Zen.
Do you have any booked for next year? Like how far in advance do people book a wedding planner?
About a year and a half.
Oh boy. Okay. Dumb question.
I'm a lot closer.
Yeah, you definitely.
Though.
Okay.
Yeah. It all depends on what they need, but some will wait until the very last minute. Like this year, there was a lot of last minute after all the COVID brides went through the pipeline.
Yeah, could see that. With people worrying about whether the venue is going to be able to to hold it and whatnot. Okay. Hopefully.
We can't go down that rabbit hole right now.
Nah.
Just whole thing. Yeah.
Not doing it. Cool. Well, yeah, Joel, thanks for joining us. Thanks for sharing everything.
Thanks for having us.
I know. Thanks for having us. I enjoyed it.
Thanks.
Well, thank you both. This has been exciting. I appreciate taking the time to participate in this.
Rock on. And
All right.
your work is thoroughly appreciated here from everyone, and from me and Caroline specifically.
Thank you.
Cool. Till next time.
All right. Thanks.